Okay guys, so welcome back to another one of my videos. On this one, as I talked in some previous videos, I've made a contact with a guy that does security systems, installing security systems. So these are some of the old security systems that are some of the equipment that would be used in security for recording onto and stuff like that. So sorry about the light, the sun shining directly, it's just the way I have it set up unfortunately, but you can see here that I've a couple of these to take apart. So we'll just cut to another angle from the top, so it gives it without the sun, but I just said I'd let you have a front view of some of the equipment. As you can see, these are all like security camera stuff. So we have you can change between your different cameras, your stuff like that. So this is the whole lot there, all different play buttons, rewind, stuff like that. So this was a whole system set up from different shops. So we're going to have a look at it from a different angle, and I'm going to start taking it apart and we'll see what boards are in here, what we can get for gold recovery, precious metals, coppers, stuff like that, anything that can make a few pound out of, you know, yourself. There's nothing better than turning other people's trash into cash for yourself. So we'll have a look at it from another angle and see you in a second, guys. So here we are now, just looking down on top of it. So we have 1 unit, 2 units, 3, 4, 5 different units here. All different types of things that are used in security. I could have taken them all apart one by one and done a video on each one, but they're all kind of more or less the same sort of thing, I'm presuming. There won't be much in them. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to just remove all the casing from every one of them. So when you come back, all the top casings should be removed and we should be able to get a look into each one of the boards and see what's in them. No point in you watching me just taking apart cases. I think everyone knows how to do that, how to take the cases, just take all the screws out and stuff like that. So we'll fire ahead. I'll screw out all these cases and take the cases so we can get a look at the boards, see if there are anything nice boards for gold recovery, and back to you in a few minutes, guys. Okay, so I have taken 2 apart, well, taken the covers off one completely, and I'm on the second one as all the screws taken out, about to reveal what's inside. But the first one was very disappointing. So the board was just this type of board, fairly plain board. So all I've got is a bit of copper on these here. As you can see, some copper. That's it. And inside of here, I'll have a little bit of gold plating on the wires, the connectors inside of these. So nothing much in there. There isn't even any gold in there. In that part there, they're not gold plated or anything like that. So at least I don't think they are by looking into them. Let's just see if I can take a bit of it off so we can get a look. Actually, I was wrong. It's a good job I double checked. So that's not too bad. A little bit of gold on these little pins. Not much, a little bit of gold plating on them. So that's the little gold pins now on this one. So again, we have another one, so we have to try and separate it out from each other again. So we'll just use a chisel to pull it apart. So that's one part done. Okay, is there any screws on the back? No screws. So again, we'll put the chisel in the other side and try and pry it apart. So again, yes, I spotted a screw. There's a little screw here and another one up here actually. So again, some of these hidden screws can be hard to see sometimes, or not hidden even, but I wouldn't mind if that was hidden. But some of these little screws with the paint work, I just spotted the big silver ones, so took them off. So it wasn't too bad actually. There's just 4 screws holding the top on, so hopefully this board will be a bit better than that last board for gold recovery. The little pins at the end were a bit nice to find. They're all the time. Any little bit of gold at all adds up if you collect enough of it. So it's a bit better board looking at it. A few IC chips, so I can see all the IC chips running across here. We have a line of little IC chips, they're only small, but there'll be a bit of gold in them. And we have a little bit of a power board. So again, we have let me just bring the camera down a bit on the angle. So we have a bit of power board which will have copper We have again a little bit of copper in here, and we have a MOSFET which will have copper on it. So not too bad on that little board. And again on the front board, just having a look here, I don't see too much on that, but I'll put that aside and we'll start on the next one. I'll take that fully apart off camera and we'll see what the boards are like at the very end. We'll run through all the boards and see what's so much on them. So I'm going to do the next one, which was a I'd say it was just a CCTV is wrote here. So this must have been connected to the CCTV camera, so you could change between the cameras, zoom in, record, all that sort of stuff on them. So I'm going to have a look inside that and see what's inside of that, see if there's anything of value in there. So back in a few minutes when I've taken I keep saying back in a few minutes when I pause it, but for ye it's instant. So let's have a look and see what's inside. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we found. Again, it's catching on something. I'm not expecting to find any hard drives or anything like that, because he's already told me that he has to remove all the hard drives from them usually. I told him if I did find any hard drives I would destroy them, I wouldn't resell them or anything like that. So, get a bit of steel. Nice little board. From what I can see straight off, we have some nice IC chips on it. So we have some nice IC chips in here. So again, I'll put that aside and we'll take that board out and we'll have a look at the board at the end. I'm just doing a quick reveal when I lift it off, just to see what's in it. So with some nice IC chips stuck in there. So once I come back, I'll move on to the next one and we'll do the reveal on the next one. So again, I have some of the screws taken out of that. I'm just making sure everything is taken out. There's one at the back I've missed. So we'll just take the one at the back and we'll be ready for the reveal straight away. So I mightn't even have to pause the video if I can get the right screwdriver. Just take out that screw. So again, this, by the looks of it, was again connected to a security setup of cameras. So let's just have a quick look at the front of it and see if it can work out. Yeah, so again, you had your disk drive for cam recording onto. So these are older systems, and again you had your wide angle, stuff like that, all that sort of stuff. So you could change between recording, playing, all that of the cameras. So again, we'll just slide it out first and remove. So again, straight away, it's much the same as the last one. We have our little disk drive and we have our board. With our IC chips on it. So it's mainly the IC chips, some crystal oscillators, so similar to the last board. So again, I'll take that apart in a minute and we'll have a look at the board separately. And the last one, so again I've removed all the screws. I may have left one at the back to stop it falling to bits when I was moving it around. I can't remember on this one, did I? Yeah, I left one up here. So it's just up. Just zoom out, because I have a very tight angle on that. You can hear the bits falling around inside of screws and stuff, so I'll just take this screw out. We'll put it down flat because it's a bit awkward the way I had it. Okay, so again, let's take off the cover. So again, a nice looking board. I have a lot of steel, but I don't really bother with steel. So this one had a hard drive in it, so he's already removed the hard drive. There was a hard drive caddy there. So again, we just remove the ribbons. So again, there will be gold inside of these ribbons, usually gold plated pins. So I do hold on to them and deal with them separately. Take the pins out of them and put the pins into a jar, and we'll deal with them at a later stage with the assets. So again, I'm just going to remove what I can. So this board is quite a big board. Seems to be a few nice chips on, some aluminium. So that's it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the boards from the cases. So any of the boards that I'm still left with there, I'm just going to take them all out and we get a good look at all the boards, and we get rid of all the steel off the work area. We'll take out the old drives because again there'll be a bit of gold in them. So check back, well again for you will be instant. So let's have a look and see what's in the boards. Okay guys, so as you can see now I've everything cleared away. I just have what the remainders of the stuff I'll be keeping from them boards, or keeping the boards or the hard drives or whatever I found inside them. So we'll just run through a few of them. So as you can see here we have a nice IC chip that I'll be keeping. Again we have gold pins. So again for gold recovery I'll hold on to them gold pins, IC chips as well. So that's off on the boards. Another one of the boards here, all I have really there is a crystal oscillator, a little IC chip on the back of it, nothing, and they're of no value there, and there's no gold pins inside of that, so not much on that one. This board, again this is not a fairly decent board. We've got a lot of IC chips, as you can see. We have a lot of IC chips. I'll just pull this out to give us a better look at the board. So there's IC chips everywhere all over the board, and we also got a little gold corner BGA chip, which is nice to find. We've got a lot of crystal ceramic oscillators, so they're the ones with the little gold band that goes around them, so they contain gold and silver a lot of the time. So we have another one down here, as you can see it here, nice close up one of it. We'd have gold pins off the chips, or off the board as well on this one. In here these will have gold as well. They'll have gold inside of there. Like I did showed you earlier when I pulled off the other one, there was gold inside of them, gold pins. We've copper. We'll have a little bit of aluminium, a little bit of a copper here on the MOSFET. On the other side, again we've some IC chips. So we've got them all there on the board. That's it really from that board. So again the gold corner BGA is nice to find whenever you find them. I like finding them, a bit more gold in them. This one here, again just gold pins is the main thing I'm looking at on this board that I can see is gold pins. You'll have a bit of copper inside of here, usually in these sort of relays. Little IC chip here on the end. On the other side, these aren't gold or anything like that, so again not a great board, but it all adds up. The gold pins help to add it up a bit when I do my gold pins. This board here is mainly going to be for silver. So again, we will have some IC chips which possibly could have some gold in them, but it's mainly these switches here which will have silver contacts usually in them, is what I'm looking at. On the far side of the board, again if you look here, it looks like that could be silver. So again I'll test that. You can test that with bleach to see if it's silver. So I'll test that to see if that's silver. It is. That'll go into my silver recoveries. I'd say silver prices aren't mighty, but they just adds up. It's another precious metal. Again, we have the contacts on these for the silver contacts. Little IC chips, some more IC chips here and here. On the other side of it, again that's not gold, is it? No, it doesn't seem to be a gold pin. So again, very low grade board. This board now, when I looked at it first I thought it's not going to be much on this for me. Then I turned it over and I got all my little gold pins. So we have loads of little gold pins there, you can see, and they're fairly easy to break off. You just bend them back the other way, and there they come off. So as you can see, there's our gold pins. So I'll just put it into a little container. So again I'll just do these other four and just drop them into the container. You can see them in there. Well, hope you can see them. Maybe I'll put a few more and you'll be able to see them easier. So again they're just what I find on the board, so they're fairly easy to take off. So just take them off, flick them off like that. Just be careful you don't prod yourself in the fingers with them. So now you can see them in there better this time. So there's the gold pins. So that's what I found on that, some nice easy gold pins to find. This board is the best board of the lot that I could see. So again, we have a lot of gold pins. We have gold pins, more gold pins here again. Up here we have more gold pins, over this side we have more gold pins. Then we have our IC chips all over the board, so there's IC chips everywhere. Up along here, flat packs. They're all everywhere, all the IC chips, even under these aluminium heat sinks will be IC chips. Let me just see if I can get something to flick one of them off so I can show you. So we'll just get a chisel. We'll try and flick it off if I can. There we go. So again, you have aluminium, and then under that we had our IC chip. So nice IC chips, and then again a nice size gold cornered BGA. Don't know what this is actually. It's got a cable tie holder in it. No, it's just a. It looks like an IC chip, but I think when you break them open, they're usually copper inside of that. But again, I'll put it aside and I'll check it out. Some switches for silver. Some nice big chunky crystal oscillator, then a smaller one on it as well. Another big chunky one over here. Another two chunky ones up here. Another chunky one over here. So some nice ones there. Some MOSFETs for copper. On the other side of the board, nothing. So that's just a fairly decent board. I call that a mid-grade. I'd call that mid-grade board. Then we have another board here. So again, same idea. We've got our IC chips all over the board. We've got our ceramic crystal oscillators, the ones with the gold bands on them. Again, we have a gold corner BGA here, and we have another gold corner BGA here, which makes it nice to have two of them on the one board. Some gold pins. Again, we'll have gold inside of here. Crystal oscillators 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which should contain 6, 7 of them there, which 8 of them actually, 8 of them. And wait, let me go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 of them there on that board, which will have a little bit of silver contacts in them, hopefully, on them. Reverse side of the board, again, just solder. Some MLCCs, so one MLCC there, another one. I'm sure there's some more on this part of the board if I look. Yeah, we've got some more MLCCs along here. So again, they'll be just added into my collection of MLCCs. Next board. Again, on this one, I thought there wasn't much on it either, just a little few IC chips running across here. But up here again, we've got a line of gold pins running all the way along the board. So again, I can just remove them. I'll heat them with this heat gun, release the solder, and just remove the pins on them. And then the very little board, the first one we showed you, which had nothing really, only a bit of copper on it, and the gold pins then we found at the end just hidden in here. So again, they're fairly easy to take off. Again, you just set the tub out and you just move them back and forward and they'll fall off, usually down into the whatever you're catching them in. So they're not overly hard to get, so that board won't take much to clean them up and get the valuable stuff off, or the precious stuff that I need, copper or whatever else. It won't take much to take it off, and my little bit of gold from the pins. So that's it, just one more I think, and that should be cleaned off. So you can see there, totally gone. We got rid of all the pins that were there, so there's no gold pins left. All we're left was copper and a little bit of gold to be in here. And again, inside the jar now we've got some more gold pins to add to my collection. So that was it on the boards. I also found 3 CD-ROMs, again, which will have gold pins. So I'll put a link at the end of the video where I took these apart before, so you can see what precious materials you might find inside them. This one is not as good quality as in the gold quantity of pins. It's a lot less. It's a newer type one, so there'll be a lot less in it. And again, we have one of the older type ones, so again we'll have a lot more pins on that board. I also found a power supply, so that will be good for copper. We'll have a lot of copper inside of that. Again, you can cut off your wire. You have your copper, insulated copper wire. Again, we have a lot of ribbons and copper wire. So a lot of wire. Again, you get some gold pins inside of here. So again, that can be broken off and take off your gold pins. I might have a video done on that. If not, I'll do a video on that soon. And that's it, guys. That's what I found inside the security sets units I got off that new contact I've made. I got a lot more stuff off them as well that I'll be taking apart in future videos. There'll be a video coming pretty soon on these that I got. These are like little control pads. So again, when you're coming into a business, there'll be a control pad where you enter your security code to turn off the alarm, stuff like that. So I've got a few of them. I'll take them apart in a video in the future, and we'll see what's inside them, see what type of boards there is there much gold recovery material on them. Are they worth getting hold of? It just could be another source that you could try and, if you're into this e-waste, that you could make contact with maybe your local security company to see what they do with all their old boards. Do they just throw them out for e-waste recycling, or what is it? You might be able to get a few off them to help to add to your collection of gold recovery material. So guys, thanks for checking out the video, and see you in the next one. Keep on looking for that gold.